Hey guys, it's Miss Clapp. We're going to start talking about today whether or not something is alive. Is it living or is it non-living? So our focus question for the day, which goes on the top of your right side of your science notebook, is how do we know if something is alive? What does it mean to actually be living? So also on the right side, and it's the last thing I promise, all living things express a few different qualities or different things. And one is that they're made of cells. Two would be that they can reproduce either asexually or sexually. Three would be that they can grow. Four is DNA or RNA, so they have some type of genetic material. Five is that they actually use energy to survive. Six would be that they respond to the environment. And seven would be exhibiting homeostasis. And the last one is that they are capable of evolving. So when we talk about being made of cells, all living things are made up of cells, whether or not they're either prokaryotic or eukaryotic cells. So below you'll see like a diagram. Eukaryotic cells have a true nucleus and prokaryotic have a nucleoid region, and this is where that DNA or RNA that we talked about is held. But they either are a eukaryotic or a prokaryotic cell. Reproduction. So they must be actually able to reproduce or create more like themselves. So this could either be sexually through an egg or sperm, or asexually, sometimes done through budding or just splitting apart. Growth and development. So all things that are alive need to be able to grow and develop, and it usually occurs through mitosis or cell division. So you start with one cell and you replicate genetic material and you end up with two different cells. And this bottom picture is a picture of mitosis talking about two diploid cells. There are other levels of ploidy, but for now we're just going to stick with these ideas of the diploid cells. All living things also need to contain genetic material. So they either have DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, or RNA, ribonucleic acid. And it starts within the cell in the nucleus or the nucleoid region, and then you have chromosomes which spiral down into this double helix. They also all use energy, whether it be cellular respiration or photosynthesis. Both of these use and create energy in the form of ATP. There's other different types of energy as well. Could be respiration, could be anaerobic or aerobic, but either way, all living things use some type of energy. They can also respond to their environment. So one example of this would be phototropism. If you were to place a plant and only have a light shining in from one direction, the plant would then grow towards that light in a response to the light. And this is just some type of response to the environment. There are other types of responses, whether or not it's behavioral or non-behavioral, and then it just happens like a phototropism. But all organisms do respond to their environment. Homeostasis. This is the ability to maintain your internal environment. So an example of this would be a fish in Lake Pontchartrain, which all of you are pretty familiar with. There are both fresh and saltwater fish. Saltwater fish are used to having the water around them be 35 parts per thousand of salt water. And Lake Pontchartrain is about 8 parts per thousand, but we know that saltwater fish can still exist within Lake Pontchartrain. This is done through this homeostasis idea, where they can maintain the internal environment and still be able to survive in different external environments. You do this yourself, where your body stays at 98 degrees around for a temperature internally, yet it does not match the outside temperature, and this is done because you can use homeostasis. And the last one is evolution or evolve. So all organisms are capable of evolving, whether or not that's through a mutation, through hybridization, or through natural selection. All organisms can evolve. Mutations could be insertions or deletions within the DNA. And natural selection could just be that moths that are black survive better because they're around trees that have black bark, so they're like harder to actually prey on because you don't see them as well. So the white ones are eaten, and now there's a little bit of a sway towards only the black moth surviving. That would be an example of natural selection. So that concludes our talk on the criteria of being alive or not. Go ahead and complete your worksheet that goes along with this. And when you are done, move on to any independent work, including any TED Talks if you have extra time.